Now, all organisms in nature can tolerate short-term stress. The deer in the woods that gets chased by a pack of coyotes, the moment the deer sees that external stimulation, it turns on a primitive nervous system called the fight-or-flight nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, and it mobilizes enormous amounts of energy to prepare itself for that threat in the environment. And if the deer outruns the coyotes, 15 minutes later it goes back to grazing and the event is over and returns back to homeostasis. Short-term stress, we can all tolerate that. But human beings are a little different because they could have a confrontation with a coworker or their boss, and they can perceive that boss as a predator. And what was once highly adaptive now becomes very maladaptive. Because when you turn on the stress response and you can't turn it off, now you're headed for disease. Because no organism can live in emergency mode for extended periods of time. And it's a scientific fact that most people in the Western world spend 70% of their time living in survival, living in stress. And if you keep mobilizing all of this energy for some threat in your external environment, there's no energy in your internal environment for growth and repair. There's no energy for long-term building projects. You've tapped the reserve, and the immune system becomes compromised, and the body breaks down. But human beings, because of the size of the neocortex, can turn on the stress response just by thought alone. You can think about some future worst-case scenario in your mind, and you can attend to it to the exclusion of everything else and make it real. Or you can unfold the past bitter memory that's tattooed in the recesses of your gray matter and bring it to life, and your body experiences the same chemicals. So then, if it's a scientific fact that the hormones of stress downregulate genes to create disease, and I just said you can turn on the stress response just by thought alone, that means that your thoughts can literally make you sick. So if your thoughts can make you sick, is it possible that your thoughts can make you well? Poke the person next to you, please. Now, those hormones of stress are highly addictive. They give the brain and body a rush of energy. And people begin to use the conditions and problems in their life to reaffirm their emotional addiction. So then, if you're using the conditions in your external environment to reaffirm your addiction emotionally, that means you can become addicted to the life you don't even like.